What's up, everyone? IG Live at 5. We're back with you today. We're excited to dive into another week of answering your questions, of looking at the average Joes that we're continuing. So we're going to jump right in. We got a lot of good questions today. Good devotional ahead, some announcements you need to know. And so we're going to go ahead and start with one of Haley's questions that, again, week to week, we're like, Haley, what is going through your head? And I really like Haley's question this week because it's this. Why do people say you have the bee's knees if bees don't have knees? First off, Haley, people do not say you have the bee's knees. People say you are the bee's knees. There's a difference. There's a difference, Haley. And people say you're the bee's knees. Actually, bees do have knees. Technically, if you want to get technical with it. I looked it up on the internet, and it's true. But people say you're the bee's knees because it's like you are something that's so great I can't even describe it. It's just a saying that people say. And so, Haley, good try, but you got to get the quote right before you ask questions about it. All right. Gracie asked a question that could lead us into a rabbit hole forever. So I'm going to try to answer it with as short as I can. But Gracie asked, what conspiracy theory do I believe in? I am about 2 YouTube videos away from putting on a tinfoil hat and hiding in my closet forever. And so I'm going to try not to get too far down the conspiracy theory hole. But, you could always look into the grassy knoll or 9/11 or the Illuminati or are aliens real or how did we go to the moon in 1969 and be able to talk to them on the moon and I lose cell phone signal driving down the road. We could get into all of those conspiracy theories. Matt brought up one about Dasani water and how they have active ingredients like soft drinks have in it to actually make you thirstier so you'll buy more Dasani. He told me about this as I was drinking a bottle of Dasani water. So there are so many conspiracy theories that are right, that I actually think that, National Treasure could be true. There might be that out there. And so I don't know if there's one conspiracy theory that I believe in more than another, Gracie, but I'll just say ignorance is bliss, and I don't want to start digging too deep into it or let on too much right now and get thrown into a black van and get a hood over my head and you never see me again. So that's where I'm going to end. Chase Stubblefield, what's up, Chase? He just asked a question, how's the new building coming? Good question, man. The Mac is coming up good. I'm excited to be able to be over there. Hopefully in August is the finish date right now. So like the outside, if you haven't driven by, man, they got brick on it. They got things going up. If you go inside, you can start seeing rooms happen. And so we're on track. Things are getting done. We've been over there with the sound people and we're buying chairs for it and picking out flooring. And so, man, it's exciting. You can go up to the second floor. You can see where the worship room's going to be, the gym's going to be, the classrooms. Man, it's coming along. And so we're excited about it. It would help if it didn't rain like every day. But, man, Mark and his crew, they're killing it over there. So we can't wait to be in the Mac. Good question, Chase. Thanks for asking that. Let's see. Rachel asked, what 2 animals would I combine to make a new animal? Now, this was crazy because I was talking about this in here in the office earlier, and me and Antonio agreed on the same one. I would combine an eagle and a lion because you pretty much have the dominator of the air and the dominator on ground joined together. Ultimate animal, the eagle and the lion. I don't know what you would call it. You can comment in the comments what you think the combination of an eagle and a lion would be called. And, the best one is what we'll call it. But that's what I would combine, an eagle and a lion. That would be a pretty vicious animal, I think. John asked a couple of questions. So a leaguer, maybe Jack, maybe a leaguer. John asked, what is a griffin? Yeah, it's kind of like a griffin. I guess it would be a griffin. Most important thing to live a great life. So what are the most important things, John asked, to make a great life? Well, obviously, I would say that the most important thing to live a great life would be to know Jesus and to have a relationship with him. But outside of knowing Jesus, to live a great life in living a life with Jesus, I think, is to be able to find joy in life. I think a lot of people just get so bogged down in the details of everyday life that they forget to live their life. They sleepwalk through life. They don't find much joy in life. And so I'd say an important thing to live a great life is to be able to find joy in the little things, to be able to appreciate the life you have, and of course, to have a relationship with Jesus. John also asked, if there was one rule that I could make that everyone had to follow, what would it be? Easy, John. Eliminate glitter. Nobody can use glitter. Glitter is outlawed, and that would be the greatest rule to follow because glitter is of the devil. And so if there was one rule I could make that everyone had to follow, it would be that they could no longer use glitter. Keith asked, what was my favorite movie? Again, man, some tough questions that were sent in because I love movies. I basically just talk in movie quotes. But I would say that my favorite movie, keep the same spouse. That is a definitely important thing to live a great life. My favorite movie, Keith, would definitely be The Sandlot. It's been my favorite movie probably my entire life. It's one of those I think are timeless. It's a timeless movie, and so I would say The Sandlot is my favorite movie. You know, The Great Bambino, Sultan of Swat, The Colossal Clout, You're Killing Me Smalls, L7 Weenie, Wendy Peppercorn. I mean, it just goes on and on. Great movie. Jack, what about Wednesday night service? That's a good question, Jack. We're hoping that we can meet soon, but we don't have a timeline yet on when we're going to be able to meet on Wednesday nights again. Hopefully, end of June, 1st of July, we'll be able to start meeting again. For those who don't know, we are meeting this Sunday in person at 8:15 and 10:15, and you have to register for that service to come, which service you're going to come to. So you can go to fbclexington.com/worship. I think we only have like 4 spots available for the 10:15 service. We still got like 100 or something left for the 8:15, and so make sure if you haven't registered for what service you're going to go to, you go and do that. So that's coming up. But yeah, Jack, we're hoping to be able to meet again on Wednesday night soon. We're hoping that we can be able to do summer hangout nights, youth vacation Bible school. Even though summer camp has been canceled, even though Mission to Lexington has been canceled, we're hoping to be able to do some other things. And so yeah, hopefully Wednesday nights we can meet again soon. An exciting thing, again, that we've been talking about, we've been voting for Alex Williams. He's going to start June the 7th as our middle school and recreation pastor. We're excited that we're going to be bringing Alex on staff. He's going to be able to add a lot to our student ministry, our middle school ministry, recreation ministry. He'll be kind of over what's going on, administrating things that are going on in the MAC. So we're excited about Alex going on. We have in-person services that are starting back. We're excited about those in-person services. Can't wait for those services to start. And we're excited to just be able to connect with you again in person. We're going to have baptisms this Sunday. We're excited to be able to celebrate believers' baptism, celebrate being back through that. June the 14th, we're going to be able to celebrate our seniors. Shout out to all you seniors who've graduated. Seniors, we're going to be able to recognize you June the 14th during our 10:15 service. So you'll want to make sure to come out June the 14th and recognize our seniors. A lot of good things coming up, going on. Thanks for continuing to send in questions, to ask questions, and to be connected with us. I've enjoyed being able to connect with you each and every week through social media, every day through our daily Devo. We have an exciting thing that's coming out that we are going to start together. We are going to start together on Monday, June the 1st, church-wide, but we're really going to push it through our student ministry too, is through the Bible app, the YouVersion Bible app. And there's going to be a little tutorial video that's going to come out Friday on how you can do this. But on the YouVersion Bible app, starting June the 1st, we're going to walk through together 30 days to emotional health. And so this is going to be a church-wide emphasis that's really going to rally through our student ministry, though. And so I want to encourage you, if you don't have the Bible app downloaded, download the Bible app. We're going to post a link on our Instagram and Facebook profiles to where you can click right on that. But you can just go to the YouVersion Bible app, search 30 Days to Emotional Health, and Monday we're going to start a 30-day devotional together. Right there on your phone, you can get notifications. You'll be seeing on our daily devotions that go along with that. And so we hope that you will join us starting June the 1st as we walk 30 days to emotional health. I know that this time has been very difficult because we've been sitting around, isolated, not connected with people, probably falling out of our accountability groups, our friend groups, our small groups, church group, all of those things. And so it's easy to sit at home, to look on social media, and to let Satan start lying to you about your identity, lying to you about who you are in Christ, lying to you about your worth and your self-worth. And so we're going to walk through who God says that you are. We're going to walk through your worth and how God has still a plan for you even through this difficulty. And so kind of to start transitioning into what we're going to talk about tonight in our just short devotion time, the question we're going to look at tonight is, what are you seeking? What are you seeking? Have you ever went into a room? Maybe you're in the living room, you get up, go to your bedroom, you walk in your bedroom, you stand there for a minute, and you're like, I don't remember why I came in here. I do that a lot. I'm like an 80-year-old man in a 28-year-old body. But quite often I go to get something, and by the time I get into the room, I'm like, I have no clue why I walked in here. It's easy to forget what you're looking for. It's easy to forget maybe your task of what you're planning on doing. Maybe you had an idea, man, I'm going to do this today, and then next thing you know, you forget. I think a lot of times in life, we get off course because we forget to seek the things of God. We fall out of habit, and especially during this time when we haven't been in church, so we've fallen out of the habit. We don't have our normal Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night routines, our small groups, all of those things. It's easy to have fallen out of the habit to live in a relationship with God. And so really since March or so, it could be easy for you to start seeking other things than to seek Jesus. We've been talking about this idea of average Joes, and tonight or this afternoon we're going to read again in Hebrews 11 verses 13 through 16. It says this: So all of these died in faith without having received the promises, but they saw them from a distance, greeted them, and confessed that they were foreigners and temporary residents on earth. Now those who say such things make it clear that they are seeking a homeland, and if they were thinking about where they came from, they would have had an opportunity to return. But they now desire a better place, a heavenly one. Therefore, God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he has prepared a city for them. We talked about this verse a few weeks ago because Max Phillips, shout out to Max, he asked me what my favorite verse was. This was one of the verses I talked about, that God was not ashamed to be called their God. But in these verses, we see the idea of these men and women, the ones we've been talking about, Abel, Enoch, Abraham, Sarah. They were given a promise by God. They were given these promises. And you know what? They didn't see all of the promises God gave them played out while they were on earth. But there are really three things that I think are in this that we need to look at today. There are three words. The first word is the idea of saw. It says they saw them from a distance. It is easy to be looking and to not see. I'll be honest with you. There are many things that I go searching for. It's right there in front of me. I ask Rebecca, hey, do you know where this is at? If it was a snake, it would have bit me. It was right there. You ever open the refrigerator, be like, oh, we're all out of milk. The milk carton's sitting right there. It's full. You just overlooked it. We so many times have God blessing us in our life, God opening doors for us in our life, and then we still say, I don't understand what God's doing. I don't see. God's not doing anything for me. And it's right there in front of us. It's not that God isn't providing for us. It's just that we're not looking for it, or we're not seeing what God is doing. And it says that they saw them from a distance. They saw the promises that God had for them. I think a lot of times we don't see the plans that God has for us in our life because we're searching for the wrong things, or we have our focus on the wrong things. We're searching for God to answer our questions through earthly things when God is opening more heavenly doors. C.S. Lewis has a quote that I think is really good, and I want to read it to you. It says this: If you read history, you will find that the Christians who did most for the present world were precisely those who thought most of the next. It is since Christians have largely cease to think of the other world, that they have become so ineffective in this world. I think a lot of times we become ineffective in our day-to-day lives because we don't look for the promises of God in our life. We're not seeking after the things of God. But not only does it have the word saw, it says he greeted them. Have you ever been snubbed before? Have you ever walked up and said hey to somebody and they just turn and walk away? It's not a good feeling, right? It's not a good feeling to be rejected. Or have you ever had somebody wave and you're walking down the hallway and you wave back and then you realize they're waving at the person behind you, and then you just kind of put your hand in your pocket or scratch your head like, yeah, no, I wasn't waving at you. Like, I definitely knew you were waving at the person behind. Like, this idea of greeting. A lot of times, again, we pray that God opens doors for our lives, but then we don't look for those opportunities. We say, God, I hope that you provide an opportunity for me to share the gospel, and then he has put friends in your path. He has put people in your way, and you just don't open your eyes. You don't greet those opportunities. When the opportunities come, you give a cold shoulder to them. Or when those opportunities come and they're waving at you, you act like you're waving to the person behind you. And you're like, God, I know that that's the opportunity right there, but we don't greet the opportunities God gives us because we're seeking after the wrong things. So seek. What are you looking for? Greet. When the opportunities are there, what do you do with them? Do you make the most of them? And then it uses the idea, and confessed that they were foreigners and temporary residents on earth. What I love about the terminology is that the early church, they were known as the witnesses, those who witnessed the things that God did. And then they confess that. There's the idea of if you believe in your heart and confess that he is God, then you will be saved. As Christians, we can't only believe in Jesus, we have to confess Jesus to others. So again, to go back to what are you seeking? Are you looking? Are you greeting? And then, are you confessing? Are you telling what you believe to other people? They knew this. They knew that this world was not their own. Have you ever felt like you didn't fit in? Have you ever felt like this world is just uncomfortable, or you just don't feel like you belong? Well, guess what? You're in good company, because you're not supposed to feel like you belong to this world. We are temporary residents. We are foreigners. The Bible tells us we are aliens in a land that's not our own. So if the world doesn't seem to make sense, if it seems like everybody is fitting in, guess what? It's because they are of the world. It's because they find their identity in the world. And you and me as Christians, we don't. We don't find our identity in this earthly stuff. Our identity is in a heavenly place. It is in heaven. It is in a place to come. And we aren't supposed to feel comfortable here. We're here on a mission. We're here to come into a relationship with Jesus and bring as many people into a relationship with Jesus as we can as we share the gospel. But we are just passing through. This is not our final destination. We are just travelers going through this world, waiting for the next one to come. And it says this, those who did that, who, like C.S. Lewis said, had their focus more on the next world so they could make an impact in this world. What does the Bible tell us? It said because they desired a better place than earth, a heavenly place, it says, God is not ashamed to be called their God because he has prepared a city for them. God has prepared something for you today. God has prepared a purpose for your life. He did not create you by accident. God created you with a purpose to go and to make a difference. God has given you skills. God has given you abilities. God has given you a platform to speak into other people's lives. Seek after those things. Greet those things. Confess those things today. And I pray that God is not ashamed to be called your God. I pray that one day, whenever you meet him face to face, you finally get to your heavenly home, he will be able to say to you, well done, my good and faithful servant. I pray that you find purpose and identity in Jesus, and you stop trying to seek your purpose and identity in what this world has to offer. We've been talking about this idea of the average Joe. These men and women, Abel, Enoch, Abraham, Sarah, they were average people just like you and me, but they had one thing that was an extraordinary. It was their faith in God. Today, this afternoon, Put your faith in God. Trust that He has a plan that is better than your own plan. And remember, keep your focus on the world to come. Because when you seek things that are outside of this world, you will make a larger impact today, right here in this world. Don't forget your purpose. Don't forget why God has called you into this season of history. Make an eternal impact. Man, we're excited to be able to see you Sunday. We're excited that hopefully soon we can start meeting again for Revive or smaller groups like summer hangout nights or something like that. But until then, keep connecting with us daily on our Instagram, Facebook at FBC Lex Students. We love to connect with you. We love you. We've been praying for you, and we can't wait to connect with you again soon. Have a good rest of the day.